Okay, this is the zoning hearing board for June 24. Oh, July 2nd. Thank you. Here tonight to hear an application from Anthony DeMalo. In conjunction with a business that is you're looking to obtain a variance on a property located at Chichester Avenue and Meeting House Road. The address is 2335 Chichester Avenue, Upper Chichester, Pennsylvania 19061. The application, okay, thank you. So the application, the variances that we're looking to looking at here tonight is section. So the reason this application was denied was because of zoning code 600-52. Uses permitted by right in the C1 neighborhood, commercial district service and repair of automobiles is not permitted in C1. The applicant proposes to operate an automobile repair and maintenance business at the property located at 2335 Chichester Avenue, Upper Chichester, Pennsylvania 19061, which is zoned C1 Neighborhood Commercial District. All right, so I guess first up, the applicant, do you have, so which one of you is Anthony? Okay. Okay, so you're gonna give testimony tonight? Okay. So I guess at this point.
Well, why don't we get into evidence the administrative matters, the board exhibits.
Okay.
Board. So let me make those part, and I'll go through those if you'd like, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
First off, I think we have an application for a zoning permit that was turned down by the township. We can make that one board exhibit number 1, the permit denial. And then we have an application package that was submitted by the applicant, which consists of the application and also has a copy of the permit. It has a copy of his lease agreement and signed by the applicant. And we can make that application package collectively as board exhibit number 2. Board exhibit number 3 would be the proof of publication. And it's actually, we had 2 proofs of publication, Mr. Chairman. The first was for this meeting was originally scheduled for June 4th.
Right.
So we have a proof of publication that the ad appeared in the Daily Times on May 21st and 28th for that meeting. So that will make that as board exhibit number 3. And then this matter, as you know, was continued from the June date to tonight. And so we'll make board exhibit number 4 a copy of the applicant's agreement to extension of time to hold the hearing. The applicant waived the time requirements to move the hearing to tonight. So the extension request would be board exhibit number 4. And then board exhibit number 5 Chairman, would be the proof of publication, because this was advertised again, but this time for this evening. And that appeared in the June 18th and June 25th editions of the Daily Times. That was the ad for tonight's hearing. And then next we have pictures of the zoning of the posting of the property. Mr. Gavin, the property how it was posted, and this picture represents the posting.
Yes, property.
Thank you.
Back.
Got it. All right. Okay, so we will make it board exhibit number 6, the picture of the posting. Board exhibit number 7 will be the affidavit of posting, as Mr. Gavin just talked about, which also includes a copy of the notice. And with that, and then the applicant under your code is required to make notice to the neighbors. We have a letter from the applicant indicating that he, a copy of the letter that he sent with the notices, and a copy of the list of the neighbors notified and the return receipt cards. We can make that collectively as board exhibit number 8, is the notice to neighbors.
Thank you.
And with that, Mr. Chairman, that is the extent of the. Thank you.
At this point, the applicant, would you like to give testimony? Yep.
If do you want to?
Yeah, Robert Singh here on
So note for the record that the township wishes to be a party. The township has the absolute right to be a party. But the solicitors here participate.
Mhm.
Okay.
We'll hear testimony. Should we hear the applicant's testimony?
Well, yeah, it's up to the applicant to present their case at this
Okay.
time. And I understand the applicant, father and son, are both here.
Mhm.
Are you both planning on testifying?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I guess Maria could swear them both in, and then
That's fine.
they can
Yep.
swear them both in.
If you guys would stand, please. Okay. One of you guys want to take to the mic and, yep, give your sworn testimony for the board to hear.
Start with my lawyer. He went on vacation this week. Secretary had screwed it up. I rented this property. Okay. Let me see here. We're planning to open up a small automotive shop. There's only 2 garages there. There's enough room to probably put like 3 cars inside of there. There's already a lift in there. There's an office there and a parking lot. It is in C1 zoning. We did check around the neighborhood. That whole street, Chichester Avenue, is C1. And if you look on the township website, it does say that general repair is allowed there at that property. Also, if you look on the website and bring up that address, it shows a picture of an automotive shop on the page with the address connected to the address there, 2335. And we're not planning to set the world on fire. This ain't a big corporation. It's just me and my son. You know, we're small potatoes, and we didn't realize that the zoning had possibly been changed 3 years ago. That's what I was told. but I've never seen any proof that it was changed to C2. There seems to be no documentation. We went over all the meetings. There's, yes, all the meetings that you have is public record. So we looked over everything, and there's no, what do you call it? Like, there's no, they didn't say that there was no issues. Like, there's never nothing that says, all right, on June, the amendments on June 5th, 2021, all High Chester Avenue is changed to C2 or anything. There's no documentation of any of this. So that's kind of what we're proposing here, that we should be able to get a business license and open this place up. And we have proof that, we could show you some stuff here. If you want to look at this, it shows a picture of the automotive shop connected with the address. Here, we'll give that to them.
All right, so I have subsection 600-52, uses permitted by right in C1 neighborhood commercial district. Letter F says general service or repair on this page. On this page here, it says the definition for land use of general service or repair. It doesn't have any words. It just has a picture of an automotive shop. So, if I may, would I be able to bring this up to you? Yes. That is the only copy I have, yes. Yeah, I'm not sure that says that general service or repair is permitted by right. And I'm just confused as to why we got denied for the application if the definition of general service or repair is an automotive shop. Yes. There is an automotive lift.
So I have a question. So you're saying prior to your application, you have an understanding or you have proof of understanding that this particular property was used as an automotive repair, automotive service shop?
No. There is an automotive lift in the building, though, that was there prior to us renting it.
Okay. So is this lift, so we'll just call it a lift because we can't clarify or truthfully state, I don't think, that it was an automotive lift. It's a hydraulic lift.
It's an automotive drive-up lift.
And you guys are testifying that you're sure that that was used as an automotive lift?
Yes.
There was automotive and service. There was service work completed in that building.
there may not have been service work as a business, but there was service work in there, maybe on their personal vehicles of the tenants before us.
Okay. Um, so at this point, right, tonight, so you guys operate an automotive business, is that correct?
No,
Automotive repair shop, and
no.
you have, okay.
Yes.
So as of tonight's meeting, so you guys occupy this space
Yes.
right now, so you're signed a lease for that property. Are you, so you do occupy it now? Is there anything being done in that building at this point? There's nothing in there. Right,
It's
okay.
personal use.
Okay, personal use. Of 23. No.
So,
So you're stating that there was obviously some auto repair work done in that space,
yes.
but it certainly wasn't a business. Yeah, it didn't. It was an unpermitted. So really, I guess the way I see that is if you're unlicensed and you're not permitted, that you're really not a business.
You said you've been in this property since December of 23? Did you review this on the website prior to renting or after renting? Now you're saying that this picture is on the Chichester website.
Yes.
Is this the way this building looks now on the inside? Oh, so this isn't the picture of the shop that, okay.
That's an image that whoever uploaded it to the website. That's what they put as the definition for land use.
So this is something that Chichester put on the site, not?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we get clarification from the township? What exactly? I mean, if this is on our website, what we're exactly looking at here?
What will be advertised?
Seeing this picture.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm looking at this and I'm looking at a picture, but it doesn't specifically depict what. I don't think it clearly depicts the property that is in question here. If that picture is not a picture of the actual property, which
Right.
wouldn't prove any kind of use prior to you guys leasing this property.
Right. So this is it's not a picture of the actual business, but it's a definition of land use that's permitted by right in that area.
Or are you saying to me that once you saw this picture, that's when you decided to rent this building, and that's when you also decided that C1 land use was automotive repair?
No.
So you're not saying that this picture influenced you into and not into doing auto repair work there?
No, it did not.
Okay.
So I have a question going all the way back to the permit, the initializing this permit, or the application, I'm sorry. When you guys applied for the use permit, were you guys aware of the zoning and the zoning code that would not allow for automotive repair and service? Did you? So I'm just curious. I don't own a business and I don't run a business, and I've never looked for a property to run a business. But I mean, at some point prior to me getting to this point, I would probably ask, or I would ask for counsel somewhere to say, hey, I want to put an automotive in this neighborhood. Am I okay doing that? And I think at some point,
I think it's his testimony, though, is that you know, by coming and applying.
okay,
I think.
understood.
Just to clarify for the board, your argument is not that this was some sort of
I do have one other piece of evidence I'd like to submit. On our denial letter, it said that automotive repair is permitted in C2 areas. But under subsection 600-61 for C2 highway commercial use, letter B says sales, lease, repair, and service of automobiles. The way that's worded, that doesn't sound like an automotive shop. It sounds like a used car dealership, which we're not opening. May I submit this?
So when we, so, okay, so, okay, so this is going to be entered as exhibit
C, or, A2.
A2? Yeah, just, exhibit A2. So this, what you just, entered here is, just printed out two codes, 600-61, 600-62. These pertain to C2,
Yes.
okay, which is not in question at all. Where the application that you are entering is in C1.
Right.
Okay,
Just
just,
we were denied, saying that the automotive repair is only allowable in C2, but that's not what B says. It's describing a used car dealership. It's not describing an automotive repair shop. And then I have warehouse marked at the bottom.
Mhm.
This business, not this business, the building is classified by the county as a warehouse as well.
okay. Any other testimony from either one of you gentlemen? Any other articles that you want to present to the board for exhibit?
That should be all.
Okay, I've got one more question from Mr. Mosley before you step down.
On all the mail,
No responses. No responses.
Okay, so before we do step down, gentlemen, we'll have Township Solicitor for cross-examination.
Yeah, no. This is the whole thing. It's not just the section that I printed out. Right. Yes. Uh, 600-61 A and B, or A and D. A and B. It says retail store, including general merchandise store, hardware, pharmacy, variety store. Oh, 61. A says all uses permitted by right in the C1 district. B says sales, lease, repair, and service of automobiles. Yes. May I ask what duplicative means? Section A says that general service and repair would be, because it's a C1, anything in C1. Section B does not say that that's an automotive shop. That said, that if you read that, it describes a used car dealership. Am I able to use it? I mean, yeah, we're not on wireless communications. No, not unless medical marijuana dispensaries. We're not promoting that either. Yes. The immediate vicinity, across the street, there is McKinney's Auto Service. Would be catty corner to the right. It's a transmission shop. So it's another automotive facility. There is two houses in front of the building, which we do have a slight relationship with the neighbors who actually also asked us to fix their automobiles. But since we don't have a business license, we couldn't do it. Yes, Charlie's Transmissions. Yes, it is. Here. Yes. He also owns Dunkin' Donuts, and he owns the But I was also pointing at the general area here. These ones in specific are the ones that ask for automotive help. Fine. Yes. C1 commercial, neighborhood commercial. Yes. There's no words there, but it shows an automotive shop. So I'm not sure why an automotive shop will be there as the definition if it's not the definition.
If you look up the address of the property, 2335, and uses, it says general repair, and it does have, well, maybe don't say general repair, but it has the picture of the automotive shop. Okay. Right. This somebody that was familiar with this, making this website and familiar with that property, knew that was a garage and added this picture.
I do not know.
Seeing that there's no more question for the witnesses, I'd like to clarify the property on this. I think this was C3.
This is
T3.
You're talking about this.
Yeah. Can somebody point out to me that the property in question on this let me see it on here.
This little triangle right
Okay.
But that's we're allowed to use that. This one.
Okay. So
This is our.
so the property in question, the triangle here, was represented by a coloration of light blue, which on the zoning map, I believe it says C1. Is this would this have been available to the leaser at the time of said application for permitted use? It's available, correct? Okay. And then this so applicant's exhibit A1. So this clearly shows, beside what this picture is depicting, the information on this exhibit that you produced clearly shows the address, and it shows C-1 neighborhood commercial district. I mean, that's not something that you guys added in there.
No.
Yeah. So it's clearly C1.
Right.
Right. We go back to the maps that we're all inundated by here. It's all, everything shows me that this property in question is in C1 district.
Actually, all the auto shops in that local area are all in C1 as well. C&J Automotive, and then there's two other ones further up Meeting House Road, all C1.
Okay, well noted. At this point, oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's one, I'm trying to figure out where the meeting house goes.
Meeting House Road is at the corner.
Yeah, I know, but where, I don't know if any shops.
Further up, there used to be, was a dollar store there a long time ago. There's an eye doctor. Yeah, it's Ogden Automotive and whatever the one across the street is. I don't know what the name of it is. But
Yep,
Okay.
Meeting House and Namens. Okay. Okay, at this point, the township, does township have anything that you guys want to? Okay, so we're done with these guys for now.
One more question. The driveway for that property. Notice that, is this a shared driveway? So these homes on each side don't use that driveway at all? Which home is the owner? The
It's,
2337?
2337 is owned by our landlord.
Okay.
And the driveway that's next to that is also owned by us or our landlord. The house that's next to it, they actually have to cross onto their property to get to their driveway. So they're kind of landlocked a little bit there with the driveway.
So they're sharing that driveway.
Well, it's not quite, it's kind of shared, but
These are shared.
nothing. Yeah.
And that person in that house that you're saying shared the driveway, they didn't oppose
No,
or respond.
well, they actually asked me about automotive help while I was in the garage at one time.
I got one more. At the time that you guys were looking for a property for your business, and you found this property, I guess it was listed through maybe Realtor or maybe whatever. It doesn't matter, word of mouth. What did you ever ask the owner of that property that resides at 2337, or they own that building at 23? You ever make inquiry into what was there? What can I put there? What zoning district? I mean, did you guys ever do your? Okay, so that's a rental property. So at the time that you guys looked for this property and you did a lease agreement, you guys were aware that the property that you were looking to lease was in a C1 district, right? Was there any mention of, hey, I know you guys are looking for a place to put an automotive service and repair shop? Was that ever made mention to you by the leaser?
Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, it doesn't really matter. I mean, what he wrote or didn't write, because I mean, the court, he could write anything on there. He could tell you, that you could, put a chemical plant back in there, and really, it's your due diligence to look and see what zoning district you're going to be entering into in said community, and then at that point, make a determination whether or not a permitted use or variance was going to be able to at that point be approved going forward. Just want to state clear that you guys were aware that you were filling this application out in a C1 zoned district.
Yes.
Thank you.
Zone district. We did not know the zoning at the time of signing the lease, but upon further investigation of it, we found it was C1.
Yep. Okay, very good. Any more questions? Ann, Howard? Okay. No more questions from me. Start at Township. Okay. And take the microphone, please.
I'm the license and inspections director. A little over 2 years. No. I oversee zoning, building, planning, and code enforcement. I am. Yeah, so we've been, we tour the neighborhood continually, and we noticed that there was a lot of vehicles and equipment outside of the property. So I reached out to the realtor, who was John Della Rocca, and said, John, who's in this property? I need information. Like, it looks like you're running a business that's not allowable. He gave me Mr. DeMalo's information. I reached out. He came in to apply for his business license. I met him and his son at the window and explained that, you can apply for this, but it's, ultimately going to be denied because an automobile repair is not permitted in a C1 district. Yes. Yeah, so we looked back through the property, and there was an elevator repair company that was there, and it's been there prior to 2016. And in speaking with Charlie Romali, who's the zoning officer, that business has been there for 20 plus years. No, not to our knowledge at all. Yes. C1? No, it is not. Yep. No, it is not. C2. Yeah, it'd be 600-61, subsection B. Yeah, so you can go on the website and you can look for interactive zoning on the website, where you can type in the property location, an owner, you can create a mailing list, you can check the zoning, and there is, obviously pictures associated with these. This is a third-party site that uploads these pictures, and that does not depict, a C1. Yeah, it's not an official picture. I mean, it just depicts, similar uses, I guess, that will be permitted, but, that is obviously not correct. Yes, it is. I'm sorry. Yes, that is the official zoning map of Upper Chichester Township. Yeah, I mean, C1 districts, I mean, zoning, when they created the C1, C2 district and they changed uses to, general service repair basically states, including furniture and electronic and appliance repair. There is a lot of automotive repair shops, so they excluded them from the C1, would be my opinion, and they made them in the C2, which is a little more or less restrictive. It's more restrictive when you're in a neighborhood commercial area to try to restrict uses like this. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the applicant?
Yes. Because if you're going to apply for a variance thereafter, yes, it did.
Excuse me.
You have to let him answer the question. When you ask a question, you have to let him answer the question.
That it did. I explained the whole process to you, that you can apply for it, but almost going to be denied. And you said, well, what will be the next step if it's denied? Explain you could apply for a variance. And you said that is what you wanted to do. Okay. Yes. In the current zoning, yes. I don't. Okay, I don't understand where C2 is coming into this, because this is not a C2 district. So I don't understand why C2 is being referenced, because that has no bearing on this property at 2335. Okay. 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 This is the zoning ordinance. Okay, and as explained prior, that these are existing non-conforming uses in the C1 district. They were not changed to C2. They are in a C1, but they are existing non-conforming when the ordinance changed. Ordinance has changed several times since. I mean, you can look back. I mean, probably sometime in the 80s is probably when it was changed. I don't have an answer for that. There has to be something in archives. I mean, these businesses, McKinney's that you keep referencing, has been there for many, many years. Okay, so I'm sure there's documentation as to when the zoning ordinance was created, but at this time you can't open a automotive repair in a C1. It is not permitted by the current zoning code. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Your testimony is that the other.
That is correct. Yes. Yes, that is correct.
Okay, that being said and stated, I guess at this point, thank you, Bill. Yeah, sure. Sure, if the applicant wants to make a closing argument on the acceptance from the board on the variance of the zoning code for A1, you guys feel free if there's anything else you want to add or.
My closing argument would just be that on the zoning use permitted by right general service there. Definition. I'm not sure whether it's a third party or not. There's no other website out there. Any of the township around here, it's the only one that's not. So it's not just a third party. And there's no ordinance or amendment that you can search on the website that says anything from the 80s or back. No amendment that area is no longer used as well better. Oh, for somebody to show it.
Okay. Anything else? Thank you. Township?
Board has everything they need to make a decision tonight on this use variance request. Despite what this website interactive map might say, which is put out there by a third party and not the township, that is not what controls the decision here. The zoning ordinance and the zoning map in effect at the time of the application is what controls. This is not a dimensional variance request. This is a use variance request. So the standards for variance are applied more strictly than a dimensional variance, which is your typical side yard setbacks, things of that nature. In order to get a use variance approved pursuant to Section 910.2 of the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code and Section 600-213 of the Township Zoning Ordinance, the zoning ordinance must inflict an unnecessary hardship upon the applicant, and the following findings must be made. That's mandatory. There are unique physical circumstances or conditions peculiar to the property, and that the unnecessary hardship is due to such conditions and not the circumstances or conditions generally created by the provisions of the zoning ordinance in the district in which the property is located. Number two, because of such physical circumstances or conditions, there is no possibility that the property can be developed in strict conformity with the provisions of the zoning ordinance, and that the variance is therefore necessary to enable reasonable use of the property. The applicants testified today that if you go through section 600-52 of the zoning ordinance, which is the uses permitted by right and the C1 district, they could use the property for multiple uses in that section. Variance is therefore not necessary to enable reasonable use of the property. Finding number 3 that needs to be made under the municipality's planning code and the township zoning ordinance. The unnecessary hardship has not been created by the applicant. Finding 4, the variance will not alter the essential character of the district in which the property is located, nor substantially or permanently impair the appropriate use or development of adjacent property, nor be detrimental to the public welfare. And finally, number 5, the variance will represent the minimum variance that will afford relief and will represent the least modification possible of the regulation in use. And the difference between a use variance and a dimensional variance is that a use variance would mean that the property is used in a manner that's wholly outside of the zoning regulations, whereas a dimensional variance involves a request to adjust the zoning ordinance for purposes of using the property in a manner consistent with the zoning regulations. And that's straight from a Pennsylvania Commonwealth Court decision of this year, 2024. That is the case of Soland, Soland, versus Zoning Hearing Board of East Bradford Township. Citation is 311 Atlantic 3rd, page 1208 and 1213. Thank you for your time this evening, members of the board, and I have nothing further.
Okay, thank you. I guess being seen that both parties have stated their testimony, I guess at this point, I'd like to take a couple minutes with the board.
Before we go, can accept
Except
take
test,
all the exhibits.
Accept-
Been offered, and you could accept the exhibits.
okay.
Admit the exhibits.
Yep, accept all the exhibits and the testimony from the applicant and the township. At this point, testimony by both parties will be closed. The board will meet for a couple minutes. We'll come back, hopefully with a decision. And that's it. Thank you. Okay, so seeing that public testimony is closed,
I think you should note for the record that there were no members of the public in attendance. There was no need for public comment.
that attended this meeting. So that being said, does the board have any other question or comment pertaining to the application that they want heard at this point? Yeah, no? Okay. Yep. Okay, at this point, the chair is looking for a motion to approve or deny the application presented before us tonight. Have a motion? Motion by Howard, second.
Motion for which?
Oh, motion. Okay. Second. Pam seconds a motion to deny the application. That ends. I just like to be on record that my decision is against the application. I don't see that the applicant was able to prove in his testimony, failed to meet the criteria for a variance pertaining to the zoning code. So at that point, the decision is 3-0. Okay. Okay. Yep. We'll ask for a vote by member. A vote for or against. Howard. Against. Pam. Against. Myself. Against. So at this point, the application was denied.
Turning to me.
Yes.
The